I am very excited for this chamber chat. Happy Friday, everyone, and Happy New Year's as always to this 2023. Guys, I am having a great pleasure to sit down here with Jenny at Musical Theater Southwest, and we actually are doing something very special in the beginning of February, but I am just learning so much about theater, and thank you so much for coming
You're
on
welcome.
board.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Jenny, how was your Friday?
Friday's been a little crazy, but that's okay.
Just alone with this month, I feel it has been nonstop, and it's just really good to know that we are starting fresh and another full year, and there's so much out there going on, and hearing a lot about your business. I didn't even know this was here, and that's what you mentioned.
A lot of people don't. So, Musical Theater Southwest has been around. We're in our 64th season here in Albuquerque. Little history. It was previously Albuquerque Civic Light Opera Association, ACLOA for short. So, a lot of our veteran actors who were with the organization in like the 80s and the 90s and a little older too, they're like, oh yeah, ACLOA. And I'm like, Musical Theater Southwest, we did a little bit of some rebranding and a name change in the 90s. And then kind of switched over, so it kind of reflects more of what we do is musical theater specifically.
Wow. Yeah. And where is this located?
We are a tiny black box theater. It literally looks like a warehouse on the outside. So it's off of Central and San Pedro.
Okay.
So if you go to Domingo Road, and it's like right before you hit the flea market entrance.
Yes.
And it's right on the corner, and it has like a big marquee that's a little, it's green, sort of faded, and it has like the two theater faces kind of on front of it. So
that is so awesome. Yeah, there is little gems around the city that people do not know about. So 64 years?
Years.
Wow. And we are coming up to doing a really special celebration. They're going to do a fundraiser in February. So talk a little bit more of what you do there. And you actually have another board director, Raul, that you guys have been a member with us. But talk about your position and what you do there.
So,
you do it all.
How do I do it all? So for purposes here, I'm kind of just representing the board.
Awesome.
So I'm on the board of directors. I help out with our social media marketing. I am co-chair of our education committee, so we're trying to always help and bring in new classes, kids, adults, all sorts, as well as I help with development and outreach. Our volunteer program specifically is housed under what we call the Amigos.
Okay.
A little bit of everything. I'm currently secretary of the board, but we're about to have new officer elections, and I'm like, that's the one thing I'm going to take off my plate for right now. So
yeah. And talk about this organization. You mentioned this is a nonprofit organization. So what do you guys do, and what are you guys looking for from the community?
So primarily Face Forward, our product is putting on productions. With this season, we are doing Cabaret the Musical in March, which you heard a little bit of that music first off. That's opening in March. We're so excited. We're going to do Sweeney Todd the Musical in June, Next to Normal, which is a little bit newer known work. Okay. And then in December, we're actually doing Rent.
Oh, okay, I have heard that.
Yes, so I was like, there's at least one, and so something a little bit for everybody. We try to bring in old and newer works and kind of mix it up to get more of community people in and reach different demographics. But as a nonprofit organization, our mission is also to educate the community and bring in people through the theater arts, singing, acting, dancing. If you don't want to be on stage, you can, help out backstage, crewing, if you want to stage manage, build sets, if you want to design, if you want to help with costumes, hair, makeup. There's so many things to do in a theater. I mean, literal production, right? We look at movies and we see things that come to Popejoy, and you just like look and you're like, oh my gosh, but there's so much that goes into a production. So this fundraiser and celebration that we're doing on February 2nd, It's actually on Musical Theater Southwest Day. So for our 60th anniversary in 2019, the city named February 2nd
That's
Musical
awesome.
Theater Southwest Day. So the event will be on a Thursday. Which is kind of crazy. And we're just going to do it in our black box, you know. It's going to be...
Invite them in.
Invite them in, you know.
Yes.
Come hear from our board. We're going to have some singers and performances from shows from last season.
Okay.
Raffles, giveaways. We're going to have some drinks. So we're going to have hors d'oeuvres. It's going to be kind of like a little cocktail speakeasy type style event.
Are you asking people to dress up?
I am.
Oh man,
It's
I'm
in
glad
theater.
I asked.
It's a theater. We love costumes.
Yes.
Come get dressed up. Come have fun and just and see kind of if you've never heard of us,
Right.
you know, or if you have before, you know, it's definitely something to come check out. And people, you know, are always so surprised to hear
Exactly.
everything that we do.
Well, I know the film industry is getting really big here. Thank you to Netflix. But I think the biggest thing is the younger generation is curious about that
Yeah.
industry. And some schools have it provided, some don't. And
No.
you have to go to a certain school to do those things.
Absolutely.
So it sounds like you guys have volunteer options as well,
Yep.
job opportunities.
So our organization is probably 90% volunteer based.
Okay.
If I were to throw a really horrible statistic at you, we only have regularly about 3 paid staff, which is our theater manager, our production coordinator, and our technical director. And those positions were actually created a couple of years ago during the pandemic from a grant that we were awarded to kind of help nonprofits and small businesses. And so we are trying to figure out with this fundraiser how to sustain those key, important positions who have helped us tremendously because they're so consistent. You know, we also contract out our production teams, director, music director, stage manager, set builder, or set designers, lighting designers, costume, hair, and makeup, as well as our live musicians that we are getting to bring back this season, which is something that a lot of our patrons are like, oh, you guys have a live band? Like, right there with you, you know, it's not quite Broadway, and we don't have an orchestra pit. We have an orchestra loft.
Oh, interesting.
So the music kind of floats up above
Wow.
and down onto the audience, which is also a different concept.
It is.
So, you know, we want to be able to continue raising funds for these positions and to help continue improving the quality of our
Exactly.
productions, because everyone needs money, you know, and you want to be able to pay people what they're worth, you know, and for their time and their energy as much as possible.
Well, 64 years, I think that just shows that how much the board and how much of a volunteer staff you guys have really is passionate about.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what the community needs to know about. So I'm very excited to talk about this. So as she mentioned, February 2nd, we are actually going to go and help this fundraiser and do a ribbon cutting ceremony.
Yes, we're so excited.
And I think that's a huge celebration to be a part of. It's a huge anniversary. It's the day of your guys' day. So definitely talk more about that. I would love to invite everyone out there and who is checking out this chamber chat today. Jenny, you mentioned there is a fund. How can they register and how to attend?
Super simple. MTS.
Okay.
ABQ.org.
Wow, I love it.
Real simple. The ticket link to get the tickets and to register for the event, just so we have a head count, you know, is right on the homepage.
Okay.
Along with how to get tickets for Cabaret, because that is our next production coming up in March. It's just simple, and you can just pay there. It's $30 per person, which, you know, we don't think is a whole lot, but $30 can go a long way for us in very simple ways, but very grand ways.
Right.
And so with that, people are, you know, going to get to come and hear the performances. You get 2 drink tickets.
Wow.
We're going to have some hors d'oeuvres. So it's kind of just, like I said, a cocktail speakeasy event.
That sounds fun.
Where we can just kind of get together, celebrate, mingle, you know, and it is the beginning of a new year, and it's going to kick off our 64th season, which is amazing.
Well, and we can find more about your business at the same website, correct?
Yes. Yep.
And so we will make sure to put that information on today's chamber chat as well. They are a member with us, so please use our directory, look up Musical Theater Southwest, or if you just want to make it easier, please contact us here with the membership team. We'll make sure we'll get you in contact with either Jenny or Raul. They have been a huge help just even letting us know about this. And like we mentioned, a lot of people don't know about certain
No.
businesses. So let's go out and support them on February 2nd. Jenny, what time? Why didn't you even mention that?
6:30 p.m.
Perfect.
Show up, in your Sunday best from the 1930s and
That's so
gowns,
fun.
and just we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have a good time,
I like
and
it.
just it's also you kind of get inside backstage to what goes on in our building, and just to be a part of it.
Well, it sounds like this is something we've never done, so I'm very excited to say that we are doing a great partnership with Musical Theater Southwest to see a full film industry experience, and I really like how you put this fundraiser together. So please come out and visit us. We will definitely do that ribbon cutting, and we'll go live on February 2nd. Jenny, can you just last thing
Sure.
do the phone number and how they can get a hold of you if they have further questions?
So our office phone number is 505-265-9119. You can message me personally, email Jenny, Jenni, at mtsabq.org as well.
Perfect. Well, I like all of it. And thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great weekend.